Nicotine is both a sedative and a stimulant. Some people will tell you that nicotine gives them a burst of energy, and some people will say that it makes them sleepy. And this is true on both accounts, but it's likely because of the dose that these people use. Nicotine is actually both a sedative and a stimulant, but it depends on how much they consume. So first, let's talk about nicotine as a stimulant. Nicotine works as a stimulant in the body almost immediately because nicotine stimulates the adrenal glands, which, you've guessed it, releases adrenaline. The adrenaline release causes a release of glucose. When your body releases glucose, the pancreas releases a hormone to increase blood glucose levels and releases glucose into the bloodstream to increase blood sugar. This gives you instant energy, just like when you eat processed foods. When this happens with food, the body releases a hormone, insulin, to tell our cells to absorb the sugar and bring blood glucose levels back down to safe levels, which is that crash you get after eating crappy foods. Energy goes up and the body forces it to come back down. But nicotine works differently than food. Nicotine actually suppresses insulin output, which means that the blood sugar remains in your blood rather than being absorbed by the cells. This causes users to be slightly hyperglycemic, which means there is an excessive amount of glucose in the bloodstream, and is actually why a lot of doctors recommend that diabetics do not smoke or use nicotine products. But anyway, that means that nicotine will give you a similar energy rush as processed foods, but the energy will last a lot longer. And another way that nicotine can increase energy is because it causes a release of dopamine in the brain. And dopamine is a neurotransmitter that encourages us to act and be motivated. Now let's talk about nicotine as a sedative. So nicotine can also be used as a sedative. Once nicotine reaches the brain, it causes the release of many hormones and neurotransmitters, one of which being beta endorphins. Beta endorphin reduces anxiety and is used in the body to numb pain. This is the endorphin your body releases after some sort of physical trauma. It activates opioid receptors and has 18 to 33 times the potency of morphine. This is your body's natural painkiller. If you're a runner, you'd recognize this as runner's high during a long endurance run. Beta endorphin can also ease emotional distress, create a sense of well-being, and produce a sense of euphoria. So how do you use nicotine to get your desired results? Are you looking for energy or a way to relax? Studies have shown that nicotine starts out as a stimulant in small dosages, but as the dose increases, it changes into a sedative. So if you want energy, take a few quick puffs and then move on. If you want to relax, take long drags and chain vape.